Okay, Assalamu alaikum. This is video 4. Okay. Okay. So even though you'll be aware of what's going on, it'll be clearly visible in your face, they won't care because there'll be nothing you can do about it. You'll be too controlled, a slave. No more than a dog with a collar on it. Okay. Now, no place to hide because you'll have the Fardi chip, right? Even if you go into the deepest of mountains, right? Okay. So, as we said, they want to run for the next 2,000 years. They want to reign for the next 2,000 years. They want to stay in power. Okay. So, because in reality, they worship all gods. I mean, not all gods. They worship multiple gods. They worship all the pagan gods of old, right? That's why they have all those ghouls, you know, those statues of ghouls at the end, at the top of their church, at the top of the Vatican, you know, because you wouldn't expect that at the top of a place that's supposed to be, you know, protecting itself against evil entities, and those entities. Those statuous entities atop the Vatican looks very ghoulish, very demonic, right? Because they worship all pagan gods. Now, and the reason why they do that because, as I said, the universe is looked at as one pie, okay? One big pie, one circle, okay? What's it called? What's it called? The magnum opus? Yeah, the magnum opus. And it was spoken of in the Bible, but they took that out. Okay? They don't want you to know about astrology because astrology is really astronomy. Okay? But they don't want you to know about it and how astronomy affects you. So they took it out and they cast it as works of the devil. Like any other religion, the spirituality of the natives. Devil worship, Islam, devil worship. Everything is devil worship except Christianity, right? Or except Vaticanism, right? The universal church, right? Why is it universe? Because they're trying to represent the magnum opus, right? So every slice of the pie, every slice of the pie is like airspace, right? Celestial airspace, and is delegated to every planet, right? So every planet is delegated a piece of pie. Every planet is energy, okay? It's represented as a character, as a personality, okay? And that personality is worship. That energy is worshipped, right? So each celestial sphere or each orb, which is a planet, is considered a god. So, and each god has his own reign, his own time, and since each celestial sphere is a time period of 2,000 years, an era or age, each planet has its age, right? So, constellation has its age, right? So the age of we're in the age of, it's supposed to be in the age of Aquarius, but really it's the age of Venus, right? Okay, it's the age of the woman, right? Okay, so so that's why that is why they want to well, it's the age of the woman, let's put it that way. And Venus represents a woman. Yeah, it's the age of the woman. Shit, fuck that. It's the age of the woman. That's what the time ended, that period. Okay? And yes, I'm a Muslim and I cuss. So what? Big deal. Get over it. Anyway, so the key word is I, not you. Okay? And I am not you and you are not me. We are one. One body, not one mind. Okay? It's the age of the woman. So 2,000 years. So it's going to reign for the next 2,000 years. Then it goes on to the next 2,000 years. The next slice of the pie. Okay? And the next slice of the pie. And the next slice of the pie. Until it gets all the way around to the last slice of the pie. Then time starts all over again. That's why you have the 24 or now 26,000 year cycle. Right? And even the sun actually, well, it says we rotate around the sun. Okay, but every era has its every constellation, let's say, has its era, its cycle. right? So now we're in the cycle because time started again in Venus. We're in the cycle of Venus. That's going to last for 2,000 years. So that's her slice of the pie. That will be for the Vatican. They worship. They want to recognize that slice of the pie. After that 2,000 years, that's why that's why the story of Osiris and Isaac and the cutting off and Saturn cutting off this and cutting off that and decapitating this and decapitating that is a story so well told, and we'll go into that. Okay, it's spiritually told. Okay, because what it represents is the cutting off of time. Okay, and that's why Kali, representing time, is known to be with the sword, because she's the time. She represents the timekeeper. She's the time. Okay, so when time is cut off, the head is decapitated. That means the end of time. Okay, time over, time out. Okay, time is over, time is ended, right? So it goes on to the next 2,000, the next god for the next 2,000 years. So then they want to appease that god by worshiping that god and giving him power, okay, and giving him recognition and sacrificing and tributing to him. And so Mars is supposed to be the god of war. So what do? Get blood sacrifices, a lot of blood sacrifices, right? Okay. So Venus is supposed to be the planet of love, brotherly love, right? So that's why he went to Philly first when he came to America. He went to brotherly love, right? Okay, in recognition of Venus, right? So it's like it don't matter how you worship her, just as long as you recognize it. You can do the brother fucking. That's love too, right? Love is love, right? Okay, it don't matter what kind of woman rules, just as long as it represents a female. You can be a man that represents a female, but you got to be like a woman, upside down woman, right? Okay. Okay, so that's the game they play there. Okay, so so they want to reign for the next 2,000 years, the brotherfuckers. Okay, and so so that's why the ghouls and goblins are all up against on the Vatican, because they represent all the celestial spheres as gods. Jupiter was a god, Zeus. Venus is a god, right? Aphrodite, right? Mars is a god, Odin or one of those, or Thor or somebody. Saturn is a god, Satan, right? Pluto is a god, Hades, right? Neptune is a god, right? Titan, right? A god of the water, right? So Jesus would be Titan, okay, because he represents the Virgo, which is Neptune, and which is what Mercury and Neptune, right? Neptune is a god, Hermes, right, because he's so fast. Also, why he got the wings, right, because he flies around in 88 days, the celestial spheres of all the bodies beside the moon. The moon is a god, right? Okay, so all of those spheres are God, and they all have their slice of the pie. And when the time cuts off, when the time cuts off, which, by the way, I'm from California, represent the timekeeper, right? Okay, so, and she's also a woman, right, walking around with a bunch of heads, right? Time. The heads represent time, right? The time she's cut off, right? And when she says it's time to go, it's time to fucking go, right? And I'm telling y'all, it's time to escape, okay? Or heads will roll, right? Okay. So so all of them are gods, and they have their slice. And when they decide to, when their time is ended, their 2,000-year reign is ended, their head get cut off. They get decapitated. The heads of their states, the heads of their governments, well, that's state, the heads of their churches, everything got to go because of the new kingdom coming in, and that's what we have right now. That's why the lightning struck. Zeus struck, right? Zeus struck twice. And the Vatican stepped down because he was aware of the time. So he stepped down right before Zeus spoke. Now the lightning strike was Zeus saying, "Step down. Your time is ended." Okay. So he stepped down. He got the hell up out. Okay. Now he's just sending his whore around as a regular citizen because he on the down low trying to get it reintegrated and revitalized as what as the brother fuckers under Venus, right? Because they're gonna be brother love, right? So each one has their rule, their reign, right? 2,000-year reign, right? And Kali keeps time with all that, right? And that's why the BEYOUND represented Kali, right? With Kali on her shirt and doing a little Kali dance, representing decapitation and cutting off and all this kind of stuff. The dance of death, right? Okay, that's what that represented. What was it called? 7-Eleven, right? 7-Eleven, right? Representing that time being cut off, right? Okay. the end, not so much the end of time, but representing, well, the end of time, but not to necessarily 7-11 was the end of time. The 7-11 was referring to a date that they try to give out inconspicuously through song, right? Letting their followers know. But anyway, so that was the dance of Kali, to cut off the head, right? Okay. So every Kali cuts off their time. The calendar, right? It represents a calendar, right? Calendar. My name is Linda. I'm the calendar from California, from Cali, right? From Cali. And Cali was also a queen. California was named after a queen. Okay, queen of the Moors, right? A Moorish queen. Okay, so anyway, so I'm just standing in my divine light. Anyway, alhamdulillah. So that's what Kali represents, right? So so she cuts off their time when they try to extend their time, right? And so that's what's happening here. They're getting cut off, right? Okay, but they want to stay under brotherly love, right? Okay, and usurp the woman's power, but not let her know. She's supposed to not know. Okay, but then they let one know, like, okay, black woman, you give us your power. Give us your power, and we'll put you in a position of power. Okay? You give us that black seed. Okay? Give us your black seed, your woman seed, so we can continue to procreate, us brother fuckers. We can continue to create, because you know what they say. You can marry a queen, a woman, but that don't mean you're going to fuck her. Okay? You can give her a baby only to continue the order. But a woman's duty among the brother fuckers is only to maintain the kingdom, or the queerdom, by procreating, right? Okay, that's her only job. It's like the queen bee, right? Is to lay them eggs, lay them fucking eggs. That's all her only job. Lay the fucking eggs. She only gets fucked once. Lay them eggs. Lay them eggs, right? Okay. Okay. So they want to continue that. Their reign of brutality. So and at the very top, okay, so what it says is they want to continue that global pagan. Oh, that's what's at the top of their thing. So as the clock ticks, as the sun shadows, as it goes around and it points to that particular gargoyle, okay, that particular slice of the that represents that slice of the pie, the celestial side, that deity, that planet, right, that constellation, okay, then that one takes over that time. That one's turn to rule, and that's why the Vatican ran out of. He got the hell up out of there and abdicated before that lightning struck, right? Okay, because he knew their time was over, but they ran around trying to resurrect that shit. But you can't let them. If you're wise, you won't let them have power over you, knowing you have the power. Okay, so that's why they have those statues, those goggles and stuff atop their roof, and at the very tip. And if you notice, at the very tip, which would be called like a it's called the it's like an obelisk, but it's it has another name. I forget what it's called, but it's a point. Okay, they have the goats at the top, 2 goats at the top of all of it, right? And the goat Amendes, right? The Baphomet, representing the Baphomet, telling you what type of institution they are. Okay? Okay. So by now you should have enough evidence to substantiate that who the beast is and what's going to happen, and start preparing yourselves and stop acting in their jurisdiction. You only have so much time to get your stuff together. You only have so much time. You think of the things you need to do to become independent and get your land, so you don't get that FRID chip and become dependent, because what they say, no man can buy or sell. But if you got a house and you got some food, you can take care of yourself. So think of all the things you need to do to get that, to get there. Okay, and again, I referenced the Twin Towers. You think those people would have went into work that day if they knew an airplane was going to hit the Twin Towers? No, they wouldn't have. And I'm telling you, there's something that's going to happen to hit the Earth. Okay, and when these 2 binary stars align, the atmosphere is going to go wild, and then trying to fly that, navigate that wave, come in on that wave, all that energy, it's going to be the beast and his little spacecraft, and they're going to land. And you're going to see some little aliens get out. And they may look like human beings. They may look like human beings because they do all that genetic abduction and genetic grafting. They may look like human beings and tell you, we are them, we are you. You don't believe that shit. You don't believe that shit. You believe when Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you believe when Prophet Isa coming, he ain't got no one eye. Okay? And he gonna ride with the Mahdi. He gonna ride with the Muslims. That's how you gonna know him. Okay? So they probably come as people. Look like people. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, divine looking people, beautiful looking people. And people follow him. Okay? And so when they come, so you gotta prepare yourself. When they come and they crash, that's what's gonna create that big old tidal wave and a big old flood. And a lot of people are gonna lose their life. So if you live near a coastal area, you better move. Get your stuff together. Move to near the mountains. Okay, where there's no water. You know, or at least, and dig yourself a well. You know, move inland. You know, but nonetheless, you got a lot to do. So you can't be focusing on 9 to 5, where they're gonna hire you or fire you, or making that extra dollar, or working overtime. You better work overtime for yourself. Prepare yourself for your children. You got to stockpile food. You got to grow food. You got to collect seeds. You got to do exactly what the fuck they're doing, preparing. But they tell you, those preppers who are preparing, because there are some people out there who are smart preparing, and they'll tell you, oh, they're paranoid. There's truth. They are conspiracy theorists. Okay, well, I bet you this. I bet you, and there'll be more conspiracy theorists survive than there will be people who are not conspiracy theorists. Because the conspiracy theorists will have prepared, because they read the writing on the wall. They read the glyphs. They understand. They've done their homework. They've done their spiritual research. They've grown up. They didn't depend on what mommy or daddy told them. They grew up in the world. They weren't afraid of the unknown. Okay, that's why what they say sounds so wild, because they dared to, like Enoch, poke his head outside the universe and see that we're not alone, and we better be prepared for when they come, or whoever comes. We better prepare our food so that we will be able to stand on our own. We better keep our weapons to protect ourselves. Okay, we're not going to believe all this bullshit. Oh, that the government is trustworthy, yet they done 9/11. They were conspiring with the fake with Vatican. They are Vatican. They crashed the stock market. They did it, but we can trust them now. We give them our guns. We walk in with our hands up, and they put the FRD chip. And then when the aliens come to fuck our children, okay, and take away the Bible and the truth, the only truth we have, implant the FRD and connect us to their HARP brainwashing MK system. Okay, then what? Then what can you do? Then you won't even have the mind to believe. Okay, don't walk around stuck on dumb, thinking you're all alone in the world. Life you've been living is reality. No, it hasn't been reality. Wake up and smell the shit. Okay, it's all the fucking around. It's time to fucking clean it up. Okay, and it just ain't on your ass. That shit's on all of our asses. We all gotta wash our ass and purify and purge, like we've been saying. Okay, take your goddamn spiritual bath. Subhanallah. Okay, so they want to reign for the next 2,000 years, and that's why they have all those gods and gargoyles atop the Vatican, right, to represent different positions of the universe, right, the pieces of pie. Okay, Allahumma salli ala alhamdulillah. Okay. So, they want to be, they put that atop it, and at the very top is the goat, because that's where it all comes from, Egypt, right? It goes back further than Egypt, but Egypt is like its library. Egypt is like it's been documented. They've been doing this for a long, long time, but Egypt is where it was all documented, right? Okay. So, the goat represents Baphomet, okay? Baphomet represents the goat Mendes, but the goat Mendes wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad symbol, you know. It wasn't bad. It just represented fertility. Okay, so it wasn't bad, but like everything, they corrupted to make it bad. Like 666 represents the carbon atom. Like, you know, when you say, oh, I'm very gay. That meant in the dictionary, when you read gay, it meant happy. Just like the rainbow was used to represent the flood. Now they're using it to represent to represent something totally other than what, you know, it was meant to represent, right? Just like the pentagram was meant to represent the woman. Now they're using it to represents something other than what it represents woman. So they take divinity, like they say, the demonic spirit, the jinn, they try to not impersonate, but what do they say? Counterfeit. Okay, everything that, you know, Allah created, they try to counterfeit it, corrupt it, and make it demonic, so you'll be scared of it, but it really has power if you take out the demonic aspects of it. Okay, so I'm a woman, so I'm not supposed to associate myself with the starfish anymore, the water and the fish. I'm not supposed to do that. Man is not supposed to associate himself with the snowflake anymore. I'm not supposed to associate myself with 666 anymore, the carbon atom, despite it's in my body. I'm not supposed to associate myself with being happy anymore because it means gay. I'm to change my dialect because it's been corrupted? Hell no. Get the fucking corruption out. I'm keeping what's mine. Like I say, take from Rome give to Rome what is Rome's, and that is your shit. And take what's yours. Take your pentagram. Take your snowflake, which represents a male. Take your 666, which represents a carbon atom. Take your rainbow. Take your happiness. Take all that back. Take your enjoy your hair, which they tried to corrupt and make you think is nappy when it's really your crown. Take back your beautiful skin, your melon, loving your beautiful skin, which represents royalty, divinity, humanity. That's better than that. It represents humanity. Okay? The root of humanity, the origins of humanity. Okay? So take all that back. Don't let them keep that. Don't let them exploit that and then scare you with it. Make you scared. Oh, don't be careful of 666. Fuck the 666. Fuck them and you're trying to use 666. Take the 666 back. That represents a carbon atom, which is all life is a part of, has a part of. Take back being gay, being happy. Take back the rainbow, which represents divine sign. Oh, don't let them scare you like that with all that stuff. Marcus 666, don't go there. Forget that crap. Don't be scared of that crap. Okay, this is your stuff they corrupting. Okay? Okay. So Baphomet is bad, but the goat of Mendes was not. Okay? They just don't want African people to associate with their culture, just like they didn't want the Native Americans associating with their culture. So they tried to make it pagan. It's bad. It's evil. It's wicked. Only Catholicism. Okay? Only blue blood brother fucking religion is correct. Fuck your brother. Fuck your brother. Okay? Okay. That's the only thing that's correct, right? Okay. So, as I said, it represented the Egyptian god of fertility, Mendes. Okay? Okay, so the universal god, which is to be Baphomet, right? Because he's to represent the woman, right? Right? The universal star, right? The mother of all, right? But as Baphomet, right? So it's to represent the woman, right? The black hole, right? Okay. So it's a Hubble. The Catholic Church, Catholicism, is a Hubble of paganism. Okay, as I said, each planet represents a god. The spiritual persona or the essence of a particular constellation or planet. Okay, so it is to be appeased and ritually observed in the form in a continuous form of worship until the end of that time. So that particular celestial body is to be recognized, is to be worshipped, is to be until its time is ended, right? Until Kali comes and takes its head, right? At the end of his 2,000 years, right? So Kali's here. I'm taking the head of they took the head of the Vatican, right? Kali took the head of the Vatican, right? And no more is it to rise. Let's burn that head. I think we'll dump that into the lake of fire. Inshallah, Allah's penal take that Vatican head and put it in the lake of the fire. Let it rise no more. Let it be no more. Okay? And piss on the body and burn the body. Okay? And anybody in that body gonna get pissed on and burned. Okay? That's why you piss after you shit. You're burning the body. You're burning the shit. Okay? You're burning the head. Okay, so we're going to piss on that. Okay, we're going to pass on that. We're going to piss on that. Okay, that never to be no more. Throw it in the lake of fire. Throw it in the toilet. Throw it in the shit bowl and flush it down to hell. Right, to flush it to the lake of fire. Okay, let it burn forever and ever and ever and be no goddamn fucking more. Get out the body. Get out the body. Get out the whore. Get out Babylon. Okay, so that's what they want to do. They want to constantly appease and worship that spirit, that celestial body until Kali comes and takes his head, right? Severs his head, and then and places a new head atop the body, right? And places a new head atop, right? Okay. Okay, or place a new head atop the universal body, right? Okay, so we want to piss on that fake body of Baphomet, right? The Baphomet body, we want to piss on that. Okay, but the body of humanity, we want to purify that, wash that, cleanse that, heal that, and love that, nurture that to health. Okay, okay. So that head has been taken by Kali. Okay, so okay, so they want to. So that's why they want to build a new. That's why all the gargoyles are atop the church, and they worship it as it comes into its spiritual reign, celestial reign, right? Okay, which is 2,000 years for everyone. Okay, until the end of its time, as we said, it's to be worshipped. Okay, now, so each god or celestial body has a life shelf of 2,000 years, as well as the celestial time is 26,000 years, right? Okay, and the next god moves in and takes over the body, the celestial body. He becomes the head of the celestial body. Okay, and that's why they have the Baphomet coming in the form of the pentagram, so he can take over the body, the woman's body, right? Remember, what does it say? He's going to come against the seed of the woman, right? So he wants to take over the seed of the woman, take that tree out, as we saw in the occupied land of Palestine, the abomination, as he tried to deliver a tree to the fake the imposter Israeli abomination, right? He tried to deliver a tree to take out the tree of humanity, the seed of the woman, and implant the seed of the brother fucker, the blue blood brother fucker. Okay, so the seed of the Baphomet wants to be the seed of the next celestial 2,000 years, right? Okay. So and he wants dominion over the earth, which I just claimed in the name of Allah. I claim dominion over all Allah's creation. Okay, on the earth. Okay, and the celestial sphere that he has. He has place to represent the woman, okay, and her in humanity, inshallah, and take that back to Allah, so that Allah can administer it, their free will back to them, and they can use it to serve His purpose. So I claim that. I claim all of humanity in the name of Allah, so that that free will go back to Allah, so that He will give it to them to use. Well, they already have free will, so that they can use their free will to serve His purpose and do His will and save themselves and their families. Okay. Now again, that's spiritual talk. Okay, some of you may not understand it, but many of you will. Okay, and those, like at the Vatican, they definitely understand it, because that's what they did when they came into power. Didn't their papal bulls claim dominion over all the souls of the earth? Didn't their papal bulls claim dominion over all of humanity when they came into this new land? Called they labeled America. They took dominion over it. Then didn't they enslave the Africans, taking dominion over them, their souls changing their names? So they clearly understand what I'm saying when I say I take dominion. Okay, because you gotta claim what's yours, or they'll claim it, just like the birth certificate systems, right? So they know exactly what I'm talking about, and you understand what I'm talking about too, because that's what they did to you, claiming dominion over you by putting a birth certificate to recasting you, okay, taking dominion over your body by recasting it, okay, and repressing your soul, okay, into a cast. When they castigated your soul, when they put your soul in a cast, okay, they buried you alive. Okay, then they gave you gave you a fictitious body to name to represent your body, right? And they take dominion over that body because your soul has been buried alive. Okay, now until you wake up and say, I take dominion over my soul, then you will live in that cast, in the bank, the graveyard of the Vatican. Okay, utilizing it as they will, because the cast belongs to them. The soul don't belong to them, but the soul has been buried. The cast belongs to them, and the cast is your name in all caps, your birth certificate. So they took dominion over that. So that's what I'm taking dominion over, the earth, all of its humanity, all of its creation, and giving it back to Allah, and thereby you now, inshallah, by the will of Allah, okay, use your free will to serve Allah's purpose, okay, and protect the earth and do what you were created to do. Protect the earth, protect your humanity, protect your loved ones, live according to Allah's divine will by your gifts and talents, okay? So we're going to go to video 4. Assalamu alaikum.